Is the closure of Japan's precision manufacturing giant Canon's Zhongshan factory a turning point? Why is this a pivot point for the era? Friends, a recent event has sent shockwaves through the tech and manufacturing circles. The famous epitome of Japanese precision manufacturing. Canon has shut down its factory in Zhongshan, Guangdong, after 24 years of operation. This was a massive facility, employing tens of thousands, and getting a job there used to require waiting in a long line. The initial reaction from many is, "It's over, foreign capital is fleeing again. It must be because labor costs in China are too high, or the economy is struggling." But I'm about to drop a fact that will blow your mind. Canon is closing this factory not because it's running out of money. Quite the opposite. Canon's global printing business revenue has soared from less than 200 billion Japanese yen 5 years ago to 250 billion yen today. Sales are dropping, factories are closing, yet they are making more money? Doesn't this sound completely illogical? It's counterintuitive. What kind of closely guarded business secret is hidden behind this? Let's lift the first veil. The reason Canon can pull off the magic trick of dropping sales, rising profits, is that it doesn't primarily make money by selling printers. It's like Gillette selling razors. They'd give you the handle for free because they are betting you'll spend a lifetime buying their ridiculously expensive blades. Canon follows the same model, which is called the razor and blade model. They designed the printer to be a money pit. The core component, the toner cartridge, is designed in an all-in-one unit. What does this mean? The long-life photoreceptor drum and the short-life toner are built together. When the toner runs out, even if the drum is still usable, you have no choice but to throw the whole thing away and buy a new unit. This is like buying a car, and when the fuel tank is empty, the manufacturer forces you to replace the engine along with the tank. That's why printers are cheap, but the consumables are obscenely expensive. However, this easy money dream has been utterly shattered in China. Why? Because domestic Chinese printer brands have launched a dimensionality reduction attack. With their black technology, brands like Huawei, Lenovo, and Xiaomi have flipped the table by introducing separate drum and toner technology. After printing a few thousand pages, you simply replace the low-cost toner cartridge for a few dollars. The drum lasts for tens of thousands of pages. This move has pushed the cost per printed page down to an astonishing 2 Chinese cents, approximate $0.003. This is more than just saving money, it's a complete overthrow of the business model that Western giants have monopolized for decades. Canon realized they couldn't compete with this model in China, and that is their true reason for retreating. It's not that China is failing, but that their profit-harvesting logic no longer works here. Beyond this commercial model conflict, are there deeper national security considerations? How did domestic Chinese printers manage to break through tens of thousands of patent blockades? In the following sections, we will deeply analyze this silent war and see how Chinese manufacturing is gradually pushing back international giants. The so-called Great Retreat is actually an inability to harvest. Everyone knows Canon is a veteran foreign enterprise, having arrived in the late 1980s. The Zhongshan factory specialized in laser printers and was a key base for its global capacity. Now it's closing, with the official reason being market shrinkage. Data shows A4 laser printer shipments fell by 5% in the first half of the year, and A3 by 10%. It seems plausible, but upon closer inspection, something is wrong. 100% of the Canon Zhongshan factory's products were for export. What does that have to do with the Chinese market shrinking? This is actually a global phenomenon. Look towards Europe and the US, and you'll find that established giants like HP and Xerox are also struggling. In the US, HP is being slammed with class action lawsuits because of its dynamic security feature. In printers, firmware updates that essentially lock out non-genuine ink cartridges. This shows that consumers worldwide are fed up with these monopolistic afford the horse, but not the saddle clauses. Canon's current strategy is clear, since the high-priced consumables model has been completely competed to death by domestic manufacturers in the Chinese market. They will move the factory to Vietnam. There, they can leverage lower labor costs to continue serving the European and American markets, which haven't fully woken up yet. Simply put, they are moving to a different location to continue making money with the old model. But this strategy failed in China. In 2010, at Canon's peak, it held a 16% market share in China, while domestic brands were struggling to survive. By last year, the domestic share had surged to 42%, while Canon's plummeted to 6.4%. This is not market shrinkage. The market has been stolen by others. China must understand the essence of this. The retreat of foreign enterprises is often not because the Chinese manufacturing environment has deteriorated, but because the markets, leaks, consumers, are no longer easy to harvest. This is the inevitable pain and reshuffling brought about by industrial upgrading. Look at the US example. HP was fined and sued for locking out cartridges, which illustrates that a business model relying on monopolizing consumables for exorbitant profits is backward and anti-consumer in today's transparent information age. Canon's choice to move to Vietnam appears to be avoiding costs, but it is actually avoiding competition. This is an evasive, strategic retreat. For China, this is a signal of victory. When international giants can no longer sustain themselves with unequal business models in this market, it proves that local industries have gained the ability to define the rules. This is not just a replacement of market share, it's a transfer of pricing power and rule-making authority. 2. The technical breakthrough, more than just cheap, it's a declaration against greed. Let's talk about the hard tech. Laser printers look innocuous but have extremely high technical barriers. They involve 6 stages: charging, exposing, developing, transferring, fusing, and cleaning. The most crucial component is the drum unit. For a long time, giants like Canon and HP fiercely guarded the formula and coating process of the photoconductive materials for the drum, with tens of thousands of patents forming a minefield. Their most cunning trick was the aforementioned all-in-one design. In Western business textbooks, this might be called a clever profit model, but in China, it's seen as naked technological hegemony. How did domestic Chinese manufacturers counter this? If the patent minefield is unavoidable, they simply change the approach. Domestic printers abandoned the disposable design and focused on separate drum and toner. This is like everyone using an Apple phone, and when the battery dies, you must replace the whole phone. Then a new brand suddenly appears, telling you the battery is replaceable, and the battery only costs a few dollars. Logically, this is a dimensionality reduction attack. China's toner cartridge can be replaced separately at a minimal cost, and the drum life is extended, needing replacement only after tens of thousands of prints. This design has directly brought the printing cost down to 2 Chinese cents per page. In Europe and the US, the cost of printing a single page often translates to several jiao, tenths of a CNY, or even 1 yuan. This difference in technical approach reflects 2 sets of values. Western giants tend to maintain high profits through complex patent barriers and closed ecosystems, while Chinese manufacturing, especially companies like Huawei, Xiaomi, and Lenovo, tends to optimize technology to lower barriers and benefit the public. 3. The security red line, a prism gate, in your printer. Beyond the money issue, there is an even more critical factor: security. Many people think a printer is just an output device. Wrong. A modern printer is a networked computer. It has a CPU, memory, and storage. The files you print are often retained in the printer's memory. If the data is not completely erased, a hacker could exploit firmware vulnerabilities to recover this data. Even scarier, if the main control chip or firmware contains a backdoor, the printer becomes a spy, lurking inside your internal network. This is not sensationalism. Remember the Prism Gate, exposed by Snowden? The US NSA was even monitoring the cell phone of German Chancellor, an ally. Do you think they would overlook a critical device like a printer? In the US, the equipment of Huawei and ZTE was banned, and the reason was national security, wasn't it? So, the logic is the same globally. Equipment in core sectors must be autonomously controllable. This is why China is vigorously promoting the Xinjiang strategy, IT application innovation. Government, banks, military, and critical infrastructure must use domestic products. From the chip to the firmware, from the system to the consumables, the entire chain must be localized. No matter how good Canon's products are, if its chip is uncontrollable and its firmware is proprietary, closed source, it is vetoed in these critical areas. This is not trade protection. This is the defense of sovereignty in the digital age. Domestic printers have achieved independent intellectual property rights for the main control SoC chip, meaning China holds the key itself. 4. Spiral evolution, the twilight of the old hegemon and the dawn of new forces. Finally, let's zoom out. Canon's move from Zhongshan to Vietnam might be superficially attributed to geopolitical risks, labor costs, or a pivot to more lucrative medical businesses. Indeed, Canon's medical business is strong now. But essentially, this is a spiral evolution of the industry. Policy guidance, Xinjiang security, technological breakthroughs, separate drum and toner, chip autonomy, and business model innovation, low-cost universal access, these three forces have twisted together to form a powerful reinforcement loop. Once this loop is established, the former industrial hegemon loses its dominance. Just like with Kodak back in the day, who would have thought that film would be defeated not by better film but by the digital camera? Now, what defeats the Canon printer might not be another better Canon, but a brand new, more open, safer, and cheaper printing ecosystem. Chinese manufacturing is no longer just replacing, it is redefining the product. This does not mean China should blindly reject foreign brands. China supports global technological development and respects the excellent contributions of companies like Canon in precision manufacturing. But the market is ruthless, and it is also fair. Whoever can serve users better, protect data more securely, and reduce costs more efficiently will be the winner of the future. Friends, the closure of the Canon factory is not a tragic retreat story. It is a loud rallying call. It tells us that the era of blindly worshipping foreign brands and letting others set the rules is completely over.